Okay, good evening. So I'm Jacob Holt, the principal of Bret Harte High School. Thank you for joining us tonight. Those of you at home, thank you for joining us as well. Just so you are aware, not only are we live streaming this, but we're also going to post the presentation and the recording of the live stream. We'll be posting that so that you don't have to try to take notes dubiously. You can just kind of listen. After we're done with our presentation, we'll go out to the lobby, and that's where we'll be able to answer all of your questions. So we're going to do a kind of quick presentation, give you some information, but kind of just guide you there. And then when we're out in the lobby, we'll be able to answer all the questions you have. So we're being joined tonight by a couple people. I want to introduce Miss Amanda Drayton. She's our assistant principal who's supporting our 11th graders. So if you're in 11th grade, you may want to chat with her afterward. I'm supporting all of our seniors. And then there in the back, you may or may not be able to see them. We have Tiffany Fleece? Tiffany Fleece, mostly. And then Courtney Sutton from Columbia College and the MEOC, which is Motherlode Educational Opportunity Center. Got it. I've been working all day on that. And then we also have Sergeant Maygren from the Army. He's here to talk a little bit about some other opportunities. So I'll go ahead and get us started, and then I'll turn it over to other more exciting presenters to take us along. All right, so this is what we're going to be looking at tonight. We'll be looking at just a quick reminder of what our Bret Harte graduation requirements are. All the things we're talking about for Army, military service, college, whatever, first we need to graduate. So we're going to start with that. Then we'll talk about some other opportunities. So we'll talk a little bit about what community college options are, what some four-year college information is, financial aid, what that is, and then military service. So that'll take us through tonight, okay? So, again, we have Ms. Drayton, we have Mr. Holt. These emails are going to be posted out. You can find them on our website, but then everybody else's email from tonight will also be there. So if you want to connect with somebody, you can easily do that. So let's talk about graduation a little bit. All right, so hopefully this is not the first time you've seen something like this. So hopefully you're pretty familiar with it, but let me go over it real quick once again. In order to graduate from Bret Harte High School, a student needs to earn 260 credits. If you're thinking to yourself right now, I don't have 260 credits, that's correct because you haven't graduated yet. So when you do get toward that graduation, what you're going to be looking at is 40 credits of English, 30 credits of history, 20 in math, 20 in science, 10 in fine arts, 40, and I put a little asterisk because you only really need 20, but it's 40 for PE. So don't freak out if you've only done 2 years of PE. You're just fine. 10 credits for freshman requirements, and then 90 electives. Electives can mean just about anything, but all that adds up to 260. Normally, students have, by the time they enter into their senior year, they have around 210 credits. So if that's where you're generally at, then you're right on track. If you're in a junior, you should be right around right now, right around 140, okay? So then let's talk about the graduation ceremony. That's the exciting part. That happens in June. That's the reward for these 4 years of hard work. Okay, so Bret Harte High School graduation will be on Friday, June 3rd. Mark it down in your calendar. It's going to be here quicker than you can imagine. So Friday, June 3rd. In order to be part of that ceremony, in order to participate in that, first you have to meet all the graduation requirements, which means you have to have the 260 credits, everything that we had just talked about. You need to do that. You need to be enrolled into at least 4 Bret Harte High School classes, which just about everybody is, so we're good there. No more than 7 days of home suspension. Let's just go with 0. Let's not get suspended. That's always a good idea. Don't be on social probation. That kind of goes along with the suspension thing. Don't do that. And then maintain good attendance. So you have those things. You've paid all of the debts or returned all your books. The laptop's been checked out to you. You'll be good for graduation, the ceremony. You've worked hard. You've earned it. So we want you to be able to enjoy that. Okay, so that gets us to Friday, June 3rd. Graduation, great. If you're anything like me, you're thinking, now what? Friday, June 3rd, or Saturday, June 4th is not the time to ask that question. You should be asking that question now, whether a junior or a senior. So one of the great opportunities we have here is We have Tiffany Fleece and we have Courtney Sutton from Columbia College who can help us with understanding what do we do next. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to them.
Okay, great. Thank you. So hello, everybody. It's really, really nice to be here and be with people. We've been Zooming the college for, for what, a year now, and so I always love when we get invited out to do the more in-person information. So thank you for coming. My name's Tiffany Fleece, and I work for a program called MEOC, and that's our MEOC right over there. So it stands for Motherlode Educational Opportunity Center, and basically it's a federal program through the Department of Education that just recognizes that there are so many barriers, there's so many things that we need to do in order to start college, right, after you graduate high school. And the list can be really intimidating. The federal government recognizes that people will run away really fast because there's a lot to do. And the beauty of MEOC, and why I love my job, is we can act as your personal assistant, okay? And we kind of individualize and meet with our seniors and our juniors and help them navigate college. The beauty about MEOC also is we can help you apply and engage with any college. Columbia College is our host college. I've been there for 16 years. Of course, I'm loyal there, but I'm not loyal when it comes to supporting your educational goals, right? So if you call or connect and reach out to me and you want to go to a different community college or you want to go straight to a four-year and you have questions, you can do that. It's all free of charge. There is a one-page application, of course, and if you're under 24, your parents will need to sign it, and we'll talk about that. We have all that information out in the lobby, and we also have folders with business cards and contact information that you'll get. So, and I suggest, this year in your senior year, is having a good organization system, right? Put all your college-related stuff in this folder. Works beautifully. So MEOC, you may not engage with this now, but I would encourage you, right? You've got your whole year to get ready for next year. And so we could be working on FAFSA together. We can, of course, be doing applications. We can be helping you connect with an academic counselor who will kind of guide you and pick classes. If you're juniors, if you're interested in being dually enrolled, I can also answer those questions. We can help you with that process. And talk about the benefits of being dually enrolled. How many of you are juniors? Okay, great. I'm really glad you're here because it's not too early to start thinking about this process and start engaging. Okay. So now I'm just going to hand it over to Courtney real quick, and she'll kind of explain her role at Columbia College specifically.
Hi, so yeah, I'm Courtney, and I work for Outreach and Retention at Columbia College. So if you are at all thinking about Columbia, and there's a lot of great things at Columbia, we would love for you to come to campus. So come get a college tour with another student if you have time, or visit us online. But we want you, if it's at all of interest to you, we want you to come and see it. We have a lot of awesome programs that are everywhere from our career and technical education to more of our liberal arts. And we also have a great relationship with MJC because it is our sister school. So a lot of times we have students right now, especially in this time of a pandemic still. We have students taking classes both online at Columbia and MJC, and they work out really well. And so we have a lot of advantages also with some of our really unique programs like our Fire Academy, our welding, automotive, a lot of hands-on opportunities. And like Tiffany said, those of you that are juniors in the room, this is a great opportunity for you to get a head start. And even the seniors to take a summer course. And then there's more. So not only is there these advantages of unique programs being close to home, but there's a huge financial benefit that both Tiffany and I will talk about, which is our Columbia Promise Grant. So as a local high school graduate, you would receive 2 years of tuition free, regardless of your financial income, right? You are still required to fill out a FAFSA. How many of you, raise your hand, does that sound familiar? The word, just hearing it. Maybe you don't know what it stands for, you don't know what it means, but you've heard it. Yes, okay. It's scary. That's why we have Tiffany, okay? And me. I can help as well. But that's why we have Tiffany. And we also have financial aid technicians and specialists on our campus as well, who are very hands-on. So I think if I were to leave here with only a few things to tell you about Columbia, it's that we're unique, we're hands-on, and we're your home. And we want you to come. But like Tiffany said, I will also be your advocate in helping you find whatever is a good fit for you. Because at the end of the day, that's what's best. And we hope you get started soon. And we're here to answer any questions that you have. And I'm going to pass it over to Tiffany in case I missed anything.
Going back to FAFSA, which is the financial aid, again, we can help you with that. Our local financial aid department at Columbia College, because they're federal, they can help you. They're going to be doing Zooms, and I think they're arranging time to come out here and maybe do a face-to-face event. It doesn't mean you're going to Columbia College. They're also federal. So when you do those FAFSAs, they can help you even if you're not going to Columbia College. So just kind of keep that in mind. Any federal programs, it's wide open. And then, yeah, the promise, the Columbia College Promise, there's a simple application. It's super cool. You kind of become a cohort of other graduating seniors from our 5-county region. And regardless of parent income, it's a really good fit for those families who maybe fall through the crack, who aren't qualifying for anything because their income is high, or even not even high, like livable. So the FAFSA, we're really pushing that hard right now. It just opened up October 1st. You technically have till March 1st to do it. However, the earlier the better. And the reason being is you do the FAFSA, it goes off to the federal government. I think you guys are going to talk about this slide maybe, and then they kick it back to whatever college you are going to want to engage with, and at that college level, they process it, and then that's when they reach out, usually in the spring, and say, okay, this is what your financial package looks like that's unique to our college, okay? So, and if the earlier you do it, the more money's out there above and beyond basic tuition, you could be eligible for more grants, money that you don't have to pay back, money that's going to help you pay for all the extras that you may need. So that's a big plug. Do you have something? Yeah.
Yes. So, and like to responding to after June 3rd, right? So after June 3rd, you've been meeting with Tiffany. It's been great. You give her 5 stars on her Yelp, right? Whatever it is. And then you're going to come back to campus at Columbia and do an orientation, or we call them claim jumper days, where you'll be led around campus. You'll meet with an academic advisor. You'll probably see Tiffany again. Actually, you will see Tiffany again. Our financial aid technicians and our counselors. So you'll come back to campus before classes start, get all your questions answered. You can even probably buy your books in closer time to August, and things like that. And so you'll come back again, and then we start classes in the fall, but you can take advantage of some of our summer courses as well. So at Columbia, we offer summer, fall, and spring courses, and they'd be open to all of you.
So just to kind of wrap up with our slide, I just really, first of all, want you to enjoy your senior year. Congratulations. Have fun. The earlier you start this next step process, the less stress it's going to be. I'm a procrastinator. I know how that goes. I work with procrastinators. The good news about MEOC, hopefully you're engaging now for next year. We're around all year. We're around all next summer. So if you're really on the fence and you're not going to college and all of a sudden you say, oh no, I want to go to college, we're still around. You can still reach out. The sooner the better. If you have friends and peers who aren't here tonight that are on the fence about college, you can give them our information, and I can have a conversation with them, and we can talk about some of those reasons why, the myths and barriers behind why they don't feel like they'd be a good candidate for college. And we're open to anybody, any age, any population. So any parents out there want to go back to college, MEOCs, we can help you do all that too. So I think that's the big takeaway for MEOC is we're around all year. We're here to support you. We want you to have fun in your senior year, but recognize you have like a personal assistant that's going to help you navigate this big transition that can oftentimes feel really overwhelming. So don't stress. We've got you. We got you.
All right, thank you. So, and like Tiffany said, MEOC is to help you with whatever your goal is. So whatever you mention is your goal, that becomes their goal for you as well. So if you're thinking, I don't want to go to Columbia College, I have another idea, still reach out to them. They'll help you with that. And speaking of that, so we know that some students they have their eyes already set on a 4-year university or 4-year college. So I want to talk real quick about what are some of those requirements. And if you really want detailed information, you're going to hear me saying this a lot. talk to MEOC. That's their job, is to help you navigate this. And as she said, it can seem both overwhelming and complicated and confusing, especially when you start application and pieces like that. That's what they're there for. So please take advantage of that opportunity. But for a four-year college or a four-year university, in California, we have what we call like that tiered college system, right? So we've heard about Columbia College. It's very similar for MJC, things like that. But if you're looking to go to a four-year university straight out of high school, there's some requirements that you would need to do. So in order to do that, you need to meet A through G requirements. It's a certain amount of classes in certain areas, so history, English, math, science, and all things like that. So you need to go to a CSU, so California State University. Some examples of that would be Stanislaus right here, kind of near us, Sacramento, Fresno. You need to have the appropriate grades in the right courses. So you need to have certain level of coursework. You need to get at least C's in those courses. If you're curious on whether you're meeting that, set up a time to meet with me, or perhaps even better, reach out to MEOC and they can walk you through that to see if you're on that right track. And your GPA needs to be 2.5 or higher, so you need to look at that. Notice how on there it does not say you need to take the SAT. CSUs have eliminated that from their admissions requirements. So if you're signed up for the SAT, it may not be a bad idea to take it, but it's not a requirement for CSU for admission purposes. If you're looking to go to a UC, so an example of that would be Merced or Davis around here. Same type of thing. You need to meet certain grades. You need to have at least a C or better in your coursework. You need to have high GPA. You need to take the right courses. Again, at least for right now, and it's probably moving this direction, the SAT is not required. So that's often some of the things I get questions about. Do I have to take the SAT? Most likely no, but maybe it might not be a bad idea. What I can't tell you is necessarily whether a private college or an out-of-state college is asking or requiring the SAT. Now, if you want to feel comfortable in your preparation to go to an out-of-state college or a private college, if you aim for those UC requirements, those A through G requirements, you'll mostly hit what you need. But if that's what you're looking for, you're going to definitely want to set up an appointment with MEOC or with me so we can look specifically at admission requirements, get you connected with an admissions counselor over there so that you can know specifically what it is that you need in order to improve your chances to be able to go to that college. Some of the things that you may not know is, where do I want to go? So there's, you won't hear me say a lot came good from the past year and a half, but one of the things, and maybe the only one, is the number of virtual opportunities you have. So you don't have to travel necessarily on this kind of whirlwind tour of California or the nation to visit colleges. You can help narrow down your trip by joining these virtual college fairs. So we're going to be sending out information and links so you can join these college fairs to learn about schools, to learn about what programs they offer and what you're interested in. These are popping up all over the place. Almost every college has a virtual tour. They walk you through it. They show you the program. It's a wonderful way to just be introduced to that college. So you're going to be wanting to look for that information. We'll be sending that out. We'll be posting it on our website so that you can sign up for that. All right, and then we did talk a little bit about financial aid. I remember when I went to college, I was the first person in my family to go to college, and I tried to figure it out on my own. That was a mistake. It took me way too long to get through college, and it cost me way too much money to get through college because I didn't know I could ask for help. Somebody told me, I'm sure at some point, and I just wasn't listening. So one of the things that really confused me was financial aid. Financial aid is just a way to help pay for college. As you probably have heard, that college can be expensive, which is why I love the College Promise there from Columbia. Take advantage of that. Free is hard to beat, but if you have other ideas, one of those things is you need this FAFSA. It's so much easier if you have somebody walking you through that. Because of that, we're going to have financial aid nights here to help parents and students fill out that application. Sometimes it's confusing. Sometimes you're not sure what you're supposed to add or include. We are here to help you with that. So we will be sending out information about that. We'll start this month we'll have something going on monthly as we partner with Columbia to help you go the direction you want to go. All right, and then here's just some important kind of dates or time frames. So what you're looking at, and you kind of look, I backdated this, right? In August, university applications, they opened. Okay, so if that was what you were looking for, those applications are open. And if you're looking to apply for that, we're happy to help you out with that. In September, that just happened. It's not too late. Take some time to research a college that you're interested in. When you're looking at colleges, oftentimes you want to figure out, okay, which ones would be my reach colleges? Which one I'd really have to strive to get to? Which ones are my I'm feeling comfortable about this? And then you've probably heard this term, my safety college. Which ones am I feeling like I'm going to get into? I'm good. So you want to research that, get that. Now we get to October. Things get busy. So during October, you want to be here. Good job. Check that off your list. You also want to fill out the FAFSA, like we heard. It closes in March, but there's so many things that will open up. You don't want to wait to fill out that application. The CSU application opens up. We'll have links on our website on the application piece. It's a common application. You want to do that, we'll have that for you. We can help you out with that. Many private colleges begin their application season now, and this is the time to start talking to teachers, administrators, people that you trust and that know you for those letters of recommendation. That's almost certainly going to become in handy. November, when we're doing that's when our CSU and UC application begins to close. So those are pretty important time frames. In other words, time starts to get pretty short. If we wait too long, it's going to be difficult to get things done. So my suggestion, if the college route is the direction you're going, as we exit tonight, please make sure you talk to Tiffany and Courtney to get some support. Now, maybe college isn't the direction you necessarily want to go, or you have a different passion. So one of the things, I come from a military family, so this is kind of near and dear to my heart, but military service can open up a lot of options for you too. We're grateful to have Sergeant Maygren here to talk to us a little bit about the Army, but up on the slide and what we'll post out to you is our recruiters for the Marines, for the Army, Sergeant Maygren, and the Navy Villanueva. So I'll go ahead and turn time over to Sergeant Maygren to talk to us about the Army.
Thank you so much, Mr. Holt. So many bullet points and so many awesome topics he touched on tonight, and I got so much to say in such a little amount of time. I should probably start a stopwatch or I'll go over, so don't mind me if I'm just keeping time so I don't bother you all later and run over time. I'm normally used to speaking to seniors in a class of 45 minutes to an hour, so let me start this here so I don't, babble on forever. But speaking of education night, right, or college, when I went to Army recruiting school, they don't teach us how to just be recruiters. They also teach us how to be career counselors. Because a lot of you don't qualify for the Army. So I don't want to waste my time and just not talk to you at all, right, and be Mr. Mean Guy. I'm here to help you as well. So if you come into my office and for some reason or other you don't qualify for the Army, it's okay. I'll lead you on the direction you want to go. There was a girl 2 years ago from Bret Harte. She graduated. She lives locally, and she's still in the Army. She's an Army reservist. So she's part-time Army, and she wants to stay around her family. So excuse me if there's another over my nose. My glasses fog up, and then I can't see. So there's part-time Army and full-time Army. If you want full benefits and active duty pay, an active paycheck or a bigger paycheck, then you can think about active duty. So there's pre-qualification in order to enlist or join the Army. And some of those include you can't currently be on medication if you join basic training. If you want to enlist and go to basic training, they just don't worry about your safety and health concerns as you're going through basic training. Now, if you need to be on medication after and you're in your full-time unit or wherever you get assigned to, then it's okay. Can't have a criminal and law record going against you right now. If we look you up and then run your fingerprints and you got a track record, then, maybe the Army's not for you right now. We do look up, we give you a drug test at the office. We do run your fingerprints. And then we got to make sure you don't have offensive tattoos. You can have tattoos, they just can't be offensive. They can't be on your wrist, hands, face, or neck or head. And then, want to make sure there's certain things that the Army meets a height and weight requirement. And if you don't want to enlist in the Army, like I said, then we can get you on the right college path or career path as well. And you may think, what if I don't want to join the Army? It's okay. I got my college paid for through the Army. I had enough from my junior college. I enlisted late in life, later. I enlisted at 32 years old out of Calaveras County here. So I'm a local resident, live and work here. I moved back to help influence the young adults in this area. We were just speaking at one of the other local high schools this morning and trying to give the seniors some information that they can run with. Whether they want it or not, it's up to them, right? But our old commander, who just left command in Stockton, just moved to the Army Marketing Department in Chicago, Illinois. She has over $330,000 of college fees racked up. She has not paid a dime. The Army's paid for it all. She's getting her doctorate degree. So, whether you want to stay local and go to college, whether you want to go to college while working active duty in the Army, I finished my bachelor's degree while working for the White House in the Army, while traveling from city to city, country to country. I finished my bachelor's degree. So it doesn't matter what you do. You can go to brick and mortar school. And I lived in Alaska. People went to the local college in Alaska on the Army's dime. So we can get you there. I mean, a lot of families, right? I mean, my wife and I both work, but we got 4 kids. Can I afford them to all go to a major university? Probably not. So if the Army or military wants to pay for it, yeah, go ahead. Because you know why? A lot of us can't cough up 30 or 40 grand a year for each kid to do what they want to do. A lot of kids here want to go to a trade school. They want to go to mechanic school in Sacramento. They want to go to the fire academy. They want to go somewhere that's going to be a trade, which is awesome. We need more trades. That costs quite a bit of money still to go to a trade school. The Army pays for you to learn a job. There's not too many jobs out there that's going to pay you to learn a job and have no experience. We take you with no experience, give you the experience, give you the job training. A girl graduated from Bret Harte. She actually stood right here with me 2 years ago and gave the same brief. She enlisted the first day of high school, and she graduates nursing school in a couple weeks. In nursing school in the Army, where the Army paid for her for a whole year to go to school. She paid to show up to school every day. She passed all her tests. Actually, I saw her mom in Sonora 2 days ago. She passed her final test a few days ago. So she'll be a full-fledged LVN. And that's all, I love Columbia because people can go to Columbia, right? When we call up kids from the Columbia list and they say, I'm going to Columbia for nursing. Oh, I didn't know they had a nursing program. Well, I'm trying to become a nurse. Okay, cool, good for you. But, they're on year 3, 4, or 5. It's taking them a long time. Or the Army's going to get you that full nursing program done in the first year. There's many opportunities. I have a slideshow. Let me try to knock some of it out. Don't laugh, but I showed the same slideshow to Somerville with all the Bret Harte logos today. So, they weren't too happy. So anyway, my coworker couldn't be here tonight. I'm Sergeant Maygren. I'm a 25 Quebec in the Army. That means I'm a multi-channel transmission operator maintainer. It's a mouthful. What I do is signal communications. So as a staff sergeant, I'm in charge of my whole S6 shop, which is in charge of the communications for the whole battalion or possibly brigade. So anyone that needs a computer, a phone, a radio, internet, we're in charge of that. So I went to basic training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. My first assignment was in Georgia. I went from Georgia to Iraq, back to Georgia. To finish up my assignment in Georgia, I applied for the White House. I got approved to work at the White House for 4 years. So anywhere the president, vice president, White House staff, and Secret Service went, I was ahead with them to make sure all the radio communications worked before the president arrived. It was exciting. It was real world stress. And then I went to Fort Wainwright, Alaska, where it was negative 40 in the winter. So I believe as a person, as a young adult or an adult, the way we grow the most is out of our comfort zone. So I've had to grow and experience lots of things out of my comfort zone in the Army, which has made me a better person. I wanted to get closer to family, so my wife's family is in Calaveras County, right, here in Murphys. So no better way than volunteer to be a recruiter to come back and impact and influence you guys. I'm still within a day's drive to most of my family. So misconceptions. And hold on, there we go. There we go. And one more. A lot of people watch Hollywood and they think we battle Transformers. They think we fight in combat all the time, and they think we don't wear helmets, and that's definitely not true. You got to wear all your gear so you don't get shot and killed. And the guy on the right, Black Hawk Down, is probably the most accurate image up there. He just finished doing what he was doing on his mission in combat, and he's taking a breather, looks like by a striker. He's sitting on the ramp, and he's probably catching his breath and realizing what just happened, and then he's going to get back in the fight. So a lot of these guys, video games, movies, it's not all real, and a lot of people have misconceptions of the Army. A lot of people hear about it from movies or whatever from their friends. They're people that were in the Army, had a different experience, but we're here to let people know the facts or the information. It's definitely not always the misconception or what's not true. There's a lot of jobs, 150 jobs, more than any other branch of the military. And most people think, like I thought 13 years ago when I enlisted, that it was all combat. Definitely not. There's only like 13 or 15 combat jobs in the Army. Everything else is combat support. We have marketing. We got graphics. We got diesel, aviation mechanic, computer technology, medical, emergency. A lot of people up here want to go into forestry, fire, or medical. We got 25 medical jobs. Construction, engineering, transportation. You name it, we got it. There's probably a few things up here that people want to be that we may not have. But everyone wants fire. We probably only have 13 fireman jobs in the Army because the Army contracts local fire stations out to do their job. But what people have done around this area, they've enlisted in the Army to become a veteran because after they've served their first contract, you now have Veterans Advantage. Veterans Advantage is a real thing. You can apply. If I applied here with Mr. Hampton for a job, right? Not to throw Jesse under the bus, but if I applied with Mr. Hampton for a job and he's never been in the military and I have, we got similar test scores, I'm probably guaranteed to get the job over him because they want someone with the experience, the leadership training, manager experience, the life experiences the Army's going to teach you, or the military, that he may not have. So we got a guy out of Arnold last year. He was a Bret Harte grad, and he literally had all his fire certifications. He was an intern at the fire department, and he joined the Army just to come back to say he's going to vet so he can get hired on full time. So it's a real thing. My buddy in Orange County is a fire dispatcher. He's applied to the police and fire and got denied every time because a vet applied the same time as him and got the job over him. My father-in-law lives in the area, can't get certain jobs because vets apply and he's not a vet. So here's different jobs, people training and doing their jobs. Military working dog handler. There's a guy actually out of Bret Harte again in the last 2 years. He became a drone operator. The unmanned plane on the right is a drone. So these guys on the left are doing signal communications and they're learning medical courses right here. I touched on before, you got part-time on the right. It gets like a copay. You don't get full medical and dental. You get a lot of college money, and you only go to work 1 day a week, one week in a month, 2 weeks a year. So out of your 6-year contract, you're really only going less than a year. Full time, more money, pretty much free everything. 30 days paid vacation. Barracks, they're just like dorms. It's pretty much where you live. You got a roof over your head, free. You don't have to pay for housing. Gyms. Sports, athletic fields, everything you think of that you can do here in Calaveras County, we're going to do on post where you live. My kids played on the soccer teams in Alaska. You go to the gyms for free. I played on the softball team just like they're shown here. Education center. So just like the MEOC, or just like your assistant principal Amanda here and Principal Holt, we have the education center. That's where you go to either A, improve your ASVAB score, or meet with a college representative to further your education. In deployment, my boss told me you either learn language or finish your college degree. So I got home and I was zeroed and focused on getting my college degree. And I did it. So college benefits. So I get $4,000 of free college money. I don't have to touch my GI Bill. It's $4,000. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's per fiscal year for an active duty soldier. So I used that, and that's what I got my degree with. I didn't touch my GI Bill. I gave it to my 4 kids. After I gave so much time into the Army, I was able to give my GI Bill to my kids. Now my kids can go to whatever college in the U.S. they want. They've at least got 1 full year paid for because I got 4 kids. Or else 1 kid would, have it made. So I don't want to run up too much of your time. But I'll touch on one more topic real quick. That's my information. If you want to get a hold of me, I'll be outside. But the ASVAB is very important. So a lot of these UC schools and UC schools, some of the local state schools are requiring ASVAB testing soon, if not already. And it's also a good practice test for the ACT and SAT. It's not just a military exam. Some counties, county organizations and county jobs, not necessarily here, but other counties, at least in Alaska, my friend that worked for the borough, which is the county, and an accountant, they require the ASVAB. So the ASVAB is going to be 8 different topics that your child or student's going to take for the test, right? We're going to get our principal, will give you the test dates in the next week or so when those tests will be offered here this year. It's a line, you got 8 different line scores or 8 different topics. And depending on your score for those line scores, depends on what jobs you qualify for the Army or the military. So a senior with a 50 or greater on the ASVAB qualifies you for most any job. You can get a 31 to a 50 to get in the Army. Anything greater than a 50 is pretty much selecting the job of your choice. Now, we either are the only branch of the military that's going to give you the job you want before you go swear in and enlist in the Army at MEPS in Sacramento. We're not going to leave you, surprise, you got truck driver, surprise, you got a cook, and you don't like cooking. You know, you got to cook for thousands of people every day and hate your job. We're going to give you, you're going to know the job that you're going to have for the next so many years. We're going to tell you that job and help you out with that job to get the job you want before you go enlist. Other branches will tell you to go enlist, make a wish list, and you may not even get the job you want. So we will work with you. There's my information. You can see me outside. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, so that's hopefully the kind of, you're not asleep yet, and we don't want you to fall asleep. So we're going to kind of pause there. I mean, because I say pause, we're going to continue talking. So what we have for the rest of this evening, we have refreshments out. You walk past them. We told you had to come in here first, hear the presentation. So we have refreshments out there. We want you to have those. Sergeant Maygren, Tiffany, and Courtney, they're going to be sticking around, along with Ms. Drayton and I will be sticking around to be able to answer any questions that you have, be able to give you any information that you need. Again, we are grateful that you are joining us tonight. We'll be sending all this information back out to you so that you can get that information. But please enjoy the refreshments. They're provided by our students in our Bret Harte culinary class. So they are delicious. I've already sampled a couple, trust me. And then have a good evening. Thank you very much for joining us.